Good evening, race fans, and welcome to PSGL's F11, where we go full screen and full throttle for your racing enjoyment. It's the penultimate round of our season. My name is Webbo. I'm here solo tonight to take you through our immediate race, the qualifying session of which is already underway. Apologies for the technical issue, just getting our stream underway and all the drivers in place shortly after on-track events have just been finishing up fairly late for us. To keep you apprised of the championship situation, Jibuk has the opportunity to win the championship tonight. He has to be within 2 points of Yarmo in order to take this one, and within I think it is 7 points of Franco in order to win this race. Welcome if you're just joining us on the stream. You're very, very welcome indeed. Jibuk leads the championship on 98 points to Yarmo's 80. Jibuk having taken 4 wins to Yarmo's 2 out of this championship. Also with 2 wins is our Argentinian driver Franco, very popular among all of his supporters, as everybody well knows. In fact, he's on track right now, just finishing off his first lap. Matti currently lies 4th, just 1 point on 59, ahead of Salad in 5th place. Giovi in 6th place has 55, and Huberto Mancini on 51. And man alive, is it close in this championship for the Drivers' Championship. In terms of constructors, Huberto Mancini and Jibuk's Mercedes are well ahead on 150 to Alpine's 97, Haas with 90, AlphaTauri with 88. But, as I mentioned before, we're underway in terms of qualifying. Franco with the early pole position lap of a 39.123, a long way ahead of Chad, Jibuk, Jamie, Alex, Jim and Matti. Matti has yet to finish his flying lap. Currently on a lap though is the Red Bull driver Salad. There was a little bit of panic as to who would show tonight, given their preference for watching the post-race ceremonies. But we're all here to take you through our race, and thank you if you've joined us 1 hour later than we originally scheduled for the race. I hope everybody has got plenty of appetite for another load of street racing. Salad is just closing out this second sector. Of course, the sector timing being just about around here in the braking zone for turn 16, the final real braking zone of the lap in good conditions at least. We just go through 17, 18, 19 and the tiny right hand kink that is 20 before we have a long wait for that start finish straight to appear. DRS open, of course, where you heard the beep, and we're about to cross the line. What's the time? It's a 39.449, and he slots very neatly into that front row potential position. Enro is currently finishing his lap as well, and let's follow Enro in the McLaren. If you're tuning in to enjoy the racing tonight, do let us know who you're here to support. Make sure that you've subscribed to the channel, you've liked the video, and of course you've followed us on socials. I've put the links to the socials on at the top of the live chat. Enro just beginning his main attack lap, I think. Perhaps not, I think he's actually cooling down now. So let's follow Matti instead. Franco still currently with the pole position. Salad and Chad Wong are on their way into the pits, I believe. Matti then, medium tyres. He usually goes a different way to the bulk of the pack in terms of tyre strategy, whether that's down to additional tyre wear or just smart thinking, get as far up in the field as possible. Must apologise on behalf of F11 for the poor turnout tonight. A happenstance of circumstance, unfortunately, but hopefully the drivers will drive with that in mind. IDK is here for Enro, and Goopy just a bit confused tonight. Well, Goopy, let us know a slightly more specific question, but this is F11. This is the 11th division in the PlayStation League for PSGL. My name is Webbo. You can find me on Twitter at WebboRed5, and I will get hold of one of the top drivers and their flying laps to join and try and take you through a lap with them. Tom is currently on a lap right now, heading on into the dreaded turn 3, scene of many an accident and misjudgment. And we'll see what Tom's time is looking like on his way through here. He's about to cross the timing beam for the end of sector 1. It's actually a lot slower, so I think this is in fact an outlap. Difficult to tell sometimes. Franco will be about to start one very soon. Let's just watch him prepare his lap. Predictions for the championship, please, folks. Will Djibouti take it tonight? Like I say, just needs to finish within 2 points or less, or fewer, I should say, behind Yarmo, and 7 points or fewer behind Franco. Without Yarmo showing up, Yarmo's out of this one. Djibouti's goal is purely to stay within 7 points of Franco. And if he can do that, 7 or fewer, by my calculations at least, Djibouti becomes champ tonight. So, Franco looking to get into the 138s, I imagine, on his way then to start his next flying lap. And it's a sequence of 90-degree corners. Here we go then, down into turn 1. It's 90 degrees left. Use the inside curb. Straddle, in fact, the outside curb, and that's a nice, neat line through there. You can't do that on the exit of turn 2 because you'll be in the wall that's made famous by the Force India cars, of course. Franco just rubbing the wall, in fact, manages to stay valid. I don't know if he'll continue here. Another 90 degree, this time left into turn 3. You can see the tyre markings where the cars are shedding rubber. 90 degree right. And we're almost out of sector 1. Let's see how this one has fared in comparison with his previous times. He's actually, would you believe, underneath his times, a left, a right, turns 5 and 6, and we're heading towards the tight turn 7 that the drivers will go right over that apex curb, and then towards the very dangerous castle section where they'll try and get as close as possible to that left hand side through the castle walls. Now we're going through turn 12 and over the curb. Maximum, straightest line for maximum speed through here. Try not to unseat the car. Wait for your braking point. Look for those braking markers on the right hand side of the track. He brakes just about 60 meters into turn 15 and heading down as Djibouti goes fastest by 3/10 faster than Franco's time. Where does Franco gonna find this one? In fact, he's got himself a purple middle sector and he was faster than he was before. It's an almost full throttle final sector of the lap. Another slight rub on the walls on that left side of the car. The Pirelli markings will be all scrubbed off the left side of Franco's car as he's heading towards... No, in fact, he's decided that's not going to happen, and better to keep his powder dry. Chad has made a mistake and was temporarily spinning on the medium tyres. So who else is actually out there pushing hard? It looks like Alex is not pushing hard right now. An outlap for Alex. And Matty on his way into the pits after 2 laps on the mediums. What's Jim up to? He's invalidated his lap. So we'll ride with Enro, who's actually attacking the start of the lap here through turn 3. Big moment and cancelling the lap. This is going to be a feature for our drivers, just constantly pushing to the very edge of adhesion. Alex K here, recent joiner to the F11 League, hoping to prove himself worthy of being here for the next season. Just 12 drivers, as I say, taking the race tonight. Sun in the eyes through the castle section isn't going to help anybody to make a safe run through there. Gibbert currently leads with 6 minutes left to go from Franco, Salad, Tom, Chad, Jovi, Jamie, Alex. We ride with Matty and Jim in the top 10. Alex slightly hesitant through the turn 15 there. How is this lap faring? 0.674 faster than he's been before. This should see him nicely into the 39s, mid 1 minute 39s by the look of things, as the track starts to get quicker as well. Soft tyres, away we go, full throttle all the way to the line here in Azerbaijan. Very, very fast flowing circuit. It's 0.8 faster. It's good enough for P3, a 39.315 from Alex, and there will be time for one more flying lap, I think, from everybody on the track. Jovi currently on an outlap, but apart from that, everybody else waiting in the wings. I seem to have lost the live chat temporarily. Let's see if I can't get it back. Might have to just restart my feed. Try and get there for you. Tom has retired from the session in the Haas. Tom having a problem, or deciding he's actually in the pits, so must be deciding that he's not going any faster than that. Everybody coming out of the pits shortly now onto soft tyres. Alex is going to struggle to get all the way around this super long track. Just over 6 kilometers long, in fact, here in Baku. Of course, a lot of the track spent at full throttle. Jovi in the Alfa Romeo, the first of the final attempts then, about to get underway. There's a Red Bull behind him. I think that might be Alex on his way into the pits, and then it might well be Jamie who's the next one on the track. So try and bear all of that in mind as Jovi then on the attack. We'll be hoping nobody comes out of the pits into turn 1, misses the apex slightly, using that either side of the curb line through sector, through the first turn and exit. Yes, that Red Bull went into the pits, I believe, so it is an Alpine, second in the championship Alpine, but a long way back from Mercedes. Down into turn 3, a little short shift on the way out just to hold the car nice and steady, using the curb, not too much curb. This is looking fairly tidy so far for Jovi. In fact, he's 0.3 faster than he's been before through here, and gets a purple first sector. So riding with a lot of confidence now, Jovi. This is a good first sector at least. That's all we can really say so far. Looks like a Red Bull has made a mistake in the final sector. That shouldn't worry Jovi as he goes through the castle section, just shaving the left-hand side wall before you see the castle walls. Down then towards the penultimate braking point, turn 15. Wait for it. There it is. Over the curb, almost into the wall on the right hand side, but that's how you go quickly around here. What's his time looking like? 0.7 faster. He's got a purple middle sector. Jovi going for pole position here right now. Jovi building the speed. He's got nothing left to do than press DRS as soon as he can. As soon as he hears the beep, he'll press the DRS open button, and Jovi with a bid for the pole position lap here. A double purple start to the lap. How's it looking on his way to the line? It takes us ages to watch, and it's 4th place. 4th place for Jovi, no faster than that, and taking a long, wide run towards the end there. Jamie has made a mistake, but Matty has changed his strategy out there on the soft tyres. This is just an outlap. So let's see what is Salad up to. Salad on a lap right now, just closing out the first sector, 0.215 of a second faster than he's been before, but not good enough for a purple sector. Let's see what else is going to become of him through this lap as Jibuk starts his final attempt. I must go and see what Jibuk and Franco are up to. Jibuk is quicker as well. Franco, I can't see his first sector, can I? Where is it, Franco? Let's wait for that to come, but I think it's going to be Jibuk that we want to watch. Franco towards the first sector line. He is 0.3 faster. What about Jibuk then? keeping the lap alive, keeping valid over the middle curb there on the way through turn 12 and 13. Turn 12 is kind of a two-parter. This is 13, then 14, then the penultimate braking zone, turn 15, as you face the famous architecture on the right-hand side of the track. On his way to the second sector time, and it's nearly half a second faster than he's been before. He's absolutely monstering this one. Franco still that 3/10. Let's see as he crosses the second sector time. That looked very slow through turn 15 to my eye at least, as he lost track. No, he's still up. Djibrk then sprinting for the line. He's quicker than he's been before. So is Franco. I feel like Salad might be too. Djibrk with a new fastest pole position of 38.493. What has Franco got in response? Franco for Alpha Tauri to the line. It takes so long to wait for this one. It's going to be interesting to see what Salad can do. His right of reply. Franco P2 by less than 1/10 of a second, slightly slower, and Salad currently going quickly on this lap as well. Let's see into turn 7, where the cars, you'll see them concertina up together as they go through here. See if Salad can get more out of turn 15 than Franco managed. 38.493 is your target pole position on this one. Over the curb slightly. Where is this time looking for Salad? Salad on the aggressive side. I've got no sector time, so we're all going to have to wait for that final time he crosses the line. No, he's backed out. Salad not happy with his sector, so it doesn't look like he's going to be challenging. What about Huberto Mancini? Currently on no time set. The checkered flag has fallen on his times. It will be Djibrk, Franco, Salad, Alex, Jovi, Enro, Tom, Chad, Jamie, Matty, Jim and Huberto Mancini, your race order for this one. Everybody finishing those last laps on soft tyres, but quite where it's going to put them when everything shakes out, I can't exactly predict right now. As we spoke about then, Djibrk, our championship leading car, needing to just finish within 7 points of Franco, does the job in qualifying by 0.068 of a second. Djibrk takes pole for Mercedes from Franco at second on the grid, then Salad, Alex, Giovi, Enro, Tom, Chad, Jamie, Matty will start 10th, and then and in fact Tom and Matty manage that on medium tyres. Jim and Huberto Mancini will start with free choice of tyres, and hopefully will navigate the first couple of laps of this Baku street circuit without incident, and we can get our drivers around to a good finishing number and points through the field, hopefully. Like I say, welcome if you're with us. Welcome and let me know your predictions for the race. I haven't heard a weather forecast just yet. I'm hoping to. I'm hoping one of our drivers will inform me, but at the moment looking bright and sunny. There's some nice sharp bright shadows in the pit lane. Huberto Mancini feeling a little on the sarcastic side, I think. And the debriefs from the on-track F1 race continue in the Discord. I can't really give you any major updates about how people are feeling, although Djibrk says all he needs to do now is not crash. Well, let's focus on the positives, Djibrk. I think if you are focused on not crashing, one of the most likely outcomes is indeed a crash. Focus on successfully finishing the race and putting in some quick times maybe, and making good strategy calls. Djibrk leads away from the front of the grid with his teammate right at the back, but the back tonight is 12th position, so not all is lost for Huberto Mancini and Mercedes kind of victory races really. I'm pretty sure they've already sealed the championship. Jim is in 11th in the Aston Martin. We have two Aston Martins tonight, as we do with the Alpine team. Although Alpine's second place in the championship will not be strongly supported by starting 9th and 10th tonight. Chad in the highest placed Aston Martin in P8 there. Then Tom, the only Haas car. Enro, the only McLaren. Yamo's wishing everybody good luck. I'm glad that Yamo's here to watch, but Yamo, why aren't you here to race with us? Because we're missing your spicy driving for the and of course your famous lap 1 starts. We're missing them when it comes to the battle for the championship. And of course, the question most people ask when they start a PSGL video is, where's Jarno? And I always say, we have a Jarmo for you. Jovi in P5 in the Alfa Romeo, predicting a soft medium strategy, but as we know, those strategies are usually kind of garbage. Alex and Tosmo Salad start 3rd and 4th on the second row of the grid in the Red Bull. Yamo's had a mechanical at home, I see. Sorry to hear that. So mechanical problems affecting our virtual drivers as well as on-track drivers. Franco in second place has the weight of a nation's expectations on his shoulders, as we've seen plenty of time in the chat. I wonder if we will get ourselves any Argentinian flags in the chat tonight. And Jibuk there in P1, starting this race where he means to finish it, I'm sure, and where he could well do with a good result tonight. Like I say, he only needs to be within 7 points of Franco in order to take the championship victory tonight. 12 drivers for F11 will start the Baku race, and let me know any predictions as to how many will actually get round and finish this one. The good side of this is that we don't have to wait long for the final car, the Mercedes of Roberto Mancini, to catch the back of the grid. Everybody's chosen mediums who could, and remember, Matty and Tom were the ones who elected to start on them. 26 laps of the Azerbaijan street circuit about to be served up on a silver platter for you here in F11. It's lights out, it's go, 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 and away we go in the penultimate round of the F11 Championship. Jibuk away from the line fairly successfully. We've got a problem with the Haas spinning already on the entry curb, and we've got a McLaren spinning around. Both of them conveniently ghosted, and it looks like the Haas has managed to pick up the pace suspiciously quickly. I do wonder if we saw a reset to track in the background as Franco challenging towards turn 3. What are we going to see as we go down here? No major lunges down here. Red Bull holding on to the 3rd and 4th positions on the track as Tom makes a nuisance of himself in the mirrors of Alex ahead. The Aston Martins away beautifully, P6 and P7. The Alpines roughly where they started. Roberto Mancini moving up, and if I must beg forgiveness of the Haas driver Tom, because it looks like it was actually Jovi who was turning around at the start of the race. So Jovi right at the back, Enro not far in front as well. Possibly damage on the Alfa Romeo at the foot of the field at the moment. Jovi with a great qualifying lap. It looks like Salad having a problem getting away from the turn 7 there, having to let a lot of cars by. So Salad dropping down to P6 as Tom chases down P3 here. Alex, the other Red Bull, and let's see, because Franco is now 6/10 behind Jibuk, and 6/10 down the main start-finish straight isn't very much to defend from. So let's see, as Franco got himself a slipstream, definitely a good slipstream here from the Alpha Tauri. But would he get the overspeed if he pulls out of that slipstream? Jibuk knows it. He's peeled to the middle. He's made his one permitted move, potentially. We're approaching the braking zone now. He goes to the inside. Franco on the outside. Can he time the switchback well? Not quite there. Looks like the Haas going around the outside of the Red Bull, but it didn't work. Up at the front, Franco sticks a nose in, and Jibuk crosses across the front very, very closely, and he just held on, Jibuk, to P1, and risked huge amount of contact into that one. We've got Alex defending from Jim, who's made up a place on the Haas through the first 2 corners, and Jim successfully up to P4 already. Just 3/4 of a second now separating our top 2, but the gaps are super tight further down the field, so forgive me for watching these drivers, because one of them is likely to make a mistake at some point. Enro's gone in the pits, presumably very much plan B. Jamie's been in the pits as well in the Alpine, possibly some related damage between those 2 vehicles. And Franco now 6, no, make it 4 tenths, 3 tenths behind Jibuk as they head towards the crucial braking zone of turn 16. This is 15 of course, but as close as possible. Franco will get to the back of Jibuk before they're allowed DRS. He'll have a chance going down the main straight now. This is the battle for the lead on lap 2. Franco and Jibuk. Jibuk can, in all honesty, afford for the championship to let Franco by. He doesn't need to fight this one, but Jibuk may well decide he wants it all the same. Here comes Franco to the inside. You can see the top speed stalling. He's got the inside line. Jibuk can't cross in front of him, but Jibuk's got a slightly better line here. Franco braking earlier. DRS enabled. Jim gets the fastest lap, and away we go to turn 2. The exit for Jibuk is going to be crucial here. Franco not fighting this one until we get to the DRS zone now, down the back stretch towards turn 3. You can see suddenly the extra speed has been given to him. Jibuk just giving enough space on the inside, retreats to the racing line, leaves a good car width on the inside, and that's smart championship level driving from Jibuk as he holds off Franco again. Alex gets back past Jim, further back in the order. You can just see that one. Jim losing momentum and now fighting to hold on to 4th place after being briefly 3rd. Jamie's retired from the session. Jamie, why would you do this to me? Take us down to 11 cars in the Grand Prix. Hopefully it was a terminal damage thing and not just a CBA moment for him. Hi to Wochino from my boss from ERO, who joins us in the live video. Good to have you with us, boss. I hope you're enjoying the racing tonight, and you enjoyed the F1 race as well. Jibuk in P1, now 4 tenths away from Franco. Franco will get DRS down this long straight, and I imagine now Jibuk will defend less hard through here. He takes a very different line through 16 and 17 and 18 now. Franco's almost alongside him. Will anybody do the tactical move? There we go, DRS enabled just as Jibuk slots back in, and Franco successfully by. In fact, Jibuk gone into the pits on lap 3 for a very early pit stop. Is he going on to medium tyres? Very interesting to see a pit stop from Jibuk there. Didn't appear to be any wing damage being repaired, so very much a surprise to see him come in this early, perhaps going for a 2-stopper. And here we go then, down into turn 3. We've got a huge battle going on. It's Aston Martin defending from Haas on the inside. The Haas rubbing the wall. That gives Alex an opportunity to get on by. In fact, he does successfully. Alex gets by the Haas as the Haas was stranded out on the no man's land on the outside of turn 3. An absolute cracker of a start to the race. We're only 4 laps into a 26-lap race around Azerbaijan street circuit. As if you haven't had enough close racing around a street circuit today. The Haas now back on the offensive, trying to tackle this Red Bull ahead of him. Tom usually got a lot of pace. Good to see him in the league, but fighting with another newbie with everything to prove. It's Alex here representing Greece and Red Bull. Jim starting to get away from these drivers. Jim, of course, on the medium tyres, so these soft tyres only really managing 3 additional laps to their qualifying performance before giving up the ghost slightly. I wonder what Franco does. Is he going to defend from the undercut here? Oh, wow, Tom looking very loose through the fast turns 18 and 19. Almost looked like he had the tail hanging out there, even though he's on medium tyres. Franco gets fastest lap in P1 of 43.181. Jibuk came out super close to Giovi, but is probably going to be able to dispatch with him fairly quickly here. Medium tyres against old softs on Giovi's car. Jibuk with the DRS, Giovi just tucking back up the inside, and Jibuk now has a nice empty gap to put in some fast times, especially... Oh, Jim with a mistake. Jim making certainly there's been a big issue through turn 2. Whether that was contact or a mistake, of course, I can't tell. But Jim from second place down into 8th, and it's going wrong again after going oh so right in the first 5 laps. But there's still over 20 laps to run, and hopefully Jim can pull this one back together. The chance of a safety car pretty strong. Doesn't look like visible damage on the front wing, at least. Back up near the front, we've got the battle for second place here with the Haas chasing down into the castle section. Has to cede, has to bail out of the throttle and be patient. Yarmo saying Jibuk's got the wrong strategy here. Franco's had a problem, but dropping down to 3rd. So Franco possibly helping Jibuk's strategy here. Franco, has he got some damage on the car? Oh, big slide. I think those softs are fully gone unless he's lost a load of front wing. I can't see front wing damage, so it looks like, oh, massive issue for Franco. Can't keep the tyres alive. Our F11 second place driver Yarmo claiming that the wrong strategy has been taken by our championship leader Jibuk, but he's already passed Franco with a pit stop in hand. Tom gets by with this terrible camera angles. I do apologise. Once Alex goes into the pits, Matty from near the back all the way up to P3 now on those medium tyres, and Huberto Mancini started at the back, currently P3, fastest lap for Jibuk behind him. But he's quite a way back, so no time just yet to have places handed back to him, as Huberto Mancini now has the opportunity to chase down Matty, and of course a pit stop soon would be wonderful for our medium runners right about now. Matty comfortably holding off Huberto at the moment. 4.7 seconds, Tom's gap at the front. Tom, the highest medium runner from the start. Giovi still out there on soft tyres. 4.7 seconds back from the car in front, which is Jibuk. And Jibuk starting to catch his teammate. Not as night and day, but certainly slowly and surely. Of course, the difference in tyres between new mediums and 5-lap-old mediums not hugely noticeable. Franco has of course pitted, now down to P8, so the battle for the lead neutralised somewhat as Jibuk gains about 0.7 of a second in one sector alone to his teammate. Now those mediums are up to temperature. You can see on the track map how close the two Mercedes drivers are. The lead of the race is Tom by 5 seconds from Matty, who has a 0.6 second gap here visibly on track to Huberto Mancini. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. It looks like it's Giovi having a problem. Giovi stopped on track. Has Giovi will he retire? As I wait to see what happens with Huberto Mancini. Giovi back underway, thankfully. Giovi and Huberto Mancini chasing down Matty, but no way through there. I imagine we'll see Giovi into the pits. Looks like very high and slightly unexpectedly high tyre wear here tonight in Azerbaijan, catching the soft starting drivers slightly by surprise, and not quite sure why that is, but it wouldn't be the first time I've seen an F1 2021 race have unexpected levels of grip. Giovi's gone into the pits and he's retired, so I can only imagine he's had some damage. So Giovi's retirement leaves us with just 10 runners in this one, and as Yarmo says, Jibuk is in a good position to win this race, but there are another 19 laps to run to decide whether that's indeed going to happen. We've yet to see a safety car, but we've seen 2 retirements with 1/6 of our field has dropped out already, and it's very difficult to know where to look next at the Azerbaijan street circuit. Someone is going to bin it any lap, you feel, especially as the mediums start to run out the same way the softs did. I wonder what the medium tyre life is going to be like for our drivers are starting on them on heavy fuel. That will give us a good indication of whether Jibuk is able to reach the end, which I would fully expect not at this stage. But Chad and Jim both gone onto the same strategy, gone onto hard tyres, and that could be very interesting later on in the race. Jibuk is now within a second of his teammate, and presumably with Huberto Mancini's bid to try and take Matti somewhat being waned, Huberto Mancini comfortably gets out of the way there, lifts the throttle and goes fully left on the track. Doesn't lift and then brake in the middle of the track, shall we say. And that's all I will mention about that today. Jibuk getting into P3 and is just about 7 seconds away from the lead of this race. Franco, fastest lap, on a hunt to make up places, and that's all he can really do at this stage, is just go as fast as he possibly can and catch the front of the field. Jibuk, cold tyres, question mark, says Yamo. I think his tyres are up to temperature now. I think he's doing okay. Whoa, in fact, there's slight traction moment for Jibuk. He's obviously pushing. He'll be fully expecting Franco to be on it now, but Jibuk coming up behind Matti and needs to be decisive, but low risk moves for Jibuk as he leads this championship and is gunning for the championship win. An F11 title would certainly look good on his mantelpiece, and that's certainly what he's planning. It'd be nice to see a championship won by a Mercedes this season. It hasn't been won in real life yet, of course. And Jibuk tucked up behind the Alpine, and Jibuk has hit the wall. Jibuk has hit the wall in the dirty air going through turns 18 and 19. How hard did he hit it? Any damage on the car? What does he do here? I think he's shaping to the pit lane. It looks like he's damaged his front wing. Jibuk making a second unscheduled stop. Well, yes, a second stop earlier than he would plan to. He's put medium tyres on. There goes the wing change. So it's back to level pegging between him and Franco. They've both had the same issues. Jibuk with medium tyres on, hoping to get less than 19 laps on this one, as Franco gets by Salad quite well. Salad looked a little confused heading into turn 1, didn't he? Jibuk with another error then, or maybe his first error I should say, unless you count chewing up the soft tyres a lot earlier than expected. Enro's in the pits as well, gone for hard tyres now. Hard tyres very difficult to bring up to temperature around the street circuit, especially if we have a safety car. Tom though, can't believe his luck. The seas are parting for Tom as he streaks off into the lead, 7.3 seconds, just as things were starting to get uncomfortable with the gap to Jibuk. Tom leads on those mediums that he started the race on. Presumably they're starting to get a little bit uncomfortable here. I would imagine Jibuk will try and take those mediums to the end now, as will presumably Franco, but Jibuk's still 6 seconds behind Franco at this point after changing that front wing. Tom leads on lap 10 from Matti, Huberto Mancini, Alex, Franco, Salad, Jibuk, Chad, Enro and Jim, who is the tail runner in this field at the moment and has obviously had his fair share of issues. Huberto Mancini within a second again of Matti and has picked up the battle for Mercedes, where he gave up a place earlier to Jibuk and then just watched Jibuk drive off the circuit, or he would have done had there not been a concrete wall to collect the car. So whether Jibuk has further damage that was irreparable, we will have to find out after the race. But Huberto in third, racing for Mercedes honour at this point. As I say, Alpine currently second in the championship, but a long way back from, I think, the title holding Mercedes team. Alex is 10 seconds behind this group, having made a pit stop, of course. The top 3 have yet to pit. Let's have a quick spy at gap to leader, and we'll see where a pit stop will leave the drivers, possibly behind Franco even. Franco may be able to resume the lead of this race after the front 3 pit, if all goes to plan. And we have a a green flag run to their first pit stop. The successes from the start of the race go something like this. Huberto Mancini up 9, starting in the rearmost position, 12th on the grid today. Huberto Mancini up 9 places, Matti up 8 and Tom up 6, but of course those drivers still to pit, so you do expect Franco to be back roughly where he started in second or first. Salad around there. Jibek, the biggest loser so far in terms of track positions, but Jim is obviously a long way back from Enro even, who in turn is a long way back from the other Aston Martin. So in terms of distance, you fancy a pit stop. Wow, a pit stop from Tom after only 11 laps on the medium tyre. That's very interesting to see. So 11 laps on full fuel should equate to about 13 or 14 on lower fuel in the middle stint of the race, but that's certainly not enough to reach the end of this race. So a lot of tyre saving needed from Jibek to make this strategy work, and right now he's not going to be able to save any tyres as he hunts down Salad, and we see if he can overtake the Red Bull driver relatively quickly. He's on much younger tyres, of course, almost driving into him. Such is his advanced traction through the middle sector, but where it counts, Jibek is trying to get this done in a hurry, but he may just be better off saving the tyres and the ERS for the main straight. There, he's still driving pretty loose. His setup, oh, that was a hold your breath moment as he seemed to slightly walk the car through sideways, crabbing through the castle section. You get style points for that, but unfortunately that doesn't give you any championship points. I should probably do commentator style points as part of a secondary award, should I? Certainly after the events of previous races I've done this week. Jibek then just 2/10 back from the Red Bull and should be able to make light work of Salad here as they tackle this one. 11 laps on the mediums for the front two. Will they be heading into the pits to defend from Tom stretching his lead even further? Franco gets by one Red Bull as it looks like Jibek is about to get by the other one. Here he goes past Salad, peels back to the racing line across the front of the Red Bull. Such is the overspeed. Jibek up to P6 now, 7.9 seconds currently behind Alex and on the hunt, but will probably have the front two, Matti and Huberto Mancini, come out in front of him if the pace continues this way. If I could do a lap comparison, Jibek versus Matti or Huberto Mancini, I would love to at this stage. This is one of the features I'd absolutely love as a commentator, is be able to look at that kind of information, but sadly I don't have it available to me. I'd love to pick whatever drivers I could to see how their laps were comparing as they do in the advanced real life graphics, of course. I hate saying real life. I think it does our drivers a disservice. It's all real life. One is virtual, one's on track, but you know what I mean. And I mean no shade to our drivers who are pushing hard. The gap's starting to open up, as you kind of expect in the middle of a street circuit race around this track, but Huberto Mancini still staying pretty close to Matti in front. And will he opt to do the opposite on the approach to the pits here and try and benefit from clear air? Let's see what he elects to do here. He's wide at the moment, no late move across, so presumably trying to get as far into this race as possible. Oh, Yamo asks if I always want to see his laps. Yeah, why not? Why not? I want to see your starts in a little window on the side, picture in picture. That's what I want to see, Yamo. But Huberto now within a second, within DRS of the car in front. Matti looking a little loose on the way out of turn 4 there. 10 laps on soft should be doable, says Yarmo. That's yeah, I mean that's going to be a big ask as Tom gets very, very close to Huberto Mancini, and Huberto skidding the car around, almost turning it. He got to about, I would say, about 30 degrees of angle through the castle section. I think just about managed to avoid the wall. But my question is absolutely here: was the previous lap the right one for Huberto to come in? He's got 13 to go. He gets out of the way of Tom. He's sick of defending this one. He doesn't need to fight Tom. What he needs to do is maximise his speed on his way into the pits. But as Matty will have seen that behind, does he go in the pits now to defend against the undercut? Or are they trying to get to that magic lap 16 where, as Yarmo says, we can hope to get the car to the end of the race on soft tyres? In comes Huberto Mancini. Can he get the car stopped in time for the pit marker board? I think so. Pit limiter engaged. First pit box and hard tyres going on because there's no way he'll get the softs to the end, he thinks. Tyres absolutely degrading much faster than the drivers are expecting tonight. I'm sure that will be the subject of our maybe that'll be the subject of our post-race debrief. And Djibrk then has got some nice clear air as he tries to make up for the previous error on the track. Franco on a long conservation run, and it looks like Matty having to let the Haas by and Franco by. So Franco and Tom back up to the front of this field. Yarmo said I could open 6 or 9 tabs on my PC screen with everybody's stream. Yeah, I don't have a PC good enough to even stream direct from the PS, Yarmo, unfortunately. So if you want to start a GoFundMe to get Webbo the equipment he needs to stream multiple video feeds in one, then please do. But as things stand, that's a little ways off my affordability at this point. All I have is the PlayStation and a couple of pretty old PCs that my work give me. Enro's left the session. Enro retires on lap 14, hopefully in the pits, and we have a very monochromatic grid left on the circuit: white and grey and blue and turquoise and green. No reds, no oranges left in the race. That makes much sense to anybody, but I'm entertaining there. Here we go then. Franco doing well. Alex getting up past Matty, who goes into the pits, and of course that promotes Djibrk as well. So Djibrk really needs to just target finishing within 1 place of Franco. He doesn't need to monster this one in order to win the race, but he'll try. So Yarmo wants me to watch multiple streams on a 4th screen. I've got 3 going at the moment, Yarmo. And yeah, if I watch one for too long, I will almost always miss something on track. So yeah, it's difficult, I have to say. Oh, I'd love to be able to operate multiple cameras, but then you need a separate race director, I think. Franco up in P2 now, chasing down the lead, and this could actually be useful here for Djibrk, who sees Franco, his main championship rival, left racing with us tonight, and he sees him now being slowed slightly here by Tom. I wonder what kind of strategy in terms of deployment Tom is going to use here. He's got younger tyres than Franco, but slightly less speed in qualifying trim, as we saw. As the cars and the tyres get older and older, turns 18 and 19 become so dangerous for our drivers. Tom slightly faking out a pit run here. Franco has got DRS and he's catching Tom. Will Tom defend to the middle? Ite goes to the middle of the racetrack just before the braking zone, just before movement from Franco, and Tom challenging now, being challenged I should say, by Franco. Franco taking a wide line and Tom gets it all kinds of wrong. Tom spin turn for recovery, opts to recover the car that way, and very well done, but unfortunately outbrakes himself into turn 2, possibly looking in his mirrors, and credit would go to Franco for forcing that error, I think, as Djibrk now catching Alex, and trying to get within a 7-point finish of Franco in order to take the title tonight, and then start to have some fun and games next race out. In terms of fastest lap, that currently lies with Jibbuck, although Matty has just come out on soft tyres in that magical 10 laps to go, as Jarmo insists will work, and I hope it does on the soft tyres. Chad and Huberto Mancini should be good to the end. What about Jim? We haven't seen 16 successful laps on a medium tyre yet in this race. Franco's going to need more than that to see the race out. I think Jibbuck will do it. I think Jim will do it. But questioning Alex and Franco. And if their tyre wear is stronger than expected, you may see them go for another pit stop as early as possible in the next 2 laps, really, to maximise their overall race time and get the most out of those soft tyres. So Jibbuck 4/10 at the start of this straight. That should mean an easy pass. Well, made even easier because Alex has bailed to the pits and is probably going to do exactly what I just mentioned and go onto soft tyres like Matty has done for the end of this race. But Jibbuck could do with that extra point for fastest lap if he wants to make this one work well. Point system in PSGL's F11 and all of PSGL, I believe, is 15 for a win, 1 for fastest lap, 12 for second, 10 for third. So it's a lot easier for Jibbuck to be within 7 points than if it were using FIA standard points differences. So Jibbuck could actually do this. If Franco wins and Jibbuck comes 4th with fastest lap or 3rd, I think he's still champion. So Jibbuck now on his own on the track, trying to just pump in the laps, managing the race distance to the end on everything that he needs. And this is him battling for the championship. He's currently got an 18-point lead from Jarmo and a 23-point lead from Franco. I think he's going to get this one done. So, not very many close battles right now. Salad, closest to a car in front, and that's Chad in the Aston Martin. Salad just come out on new mediums. Should be a nice run to the finish. Yeah, that would be... I've just had a sketched out picture from Jarmo of a 9-grid stream idea. That's very nice. I'd love it. I'd love it. Maybe I need to get one of my get a co-commentator or producer handy to do something like that for me and tell me what to be watching at the same time. If that could be restreamed, what an amazing footage we'd have. That'd be so cool. But yeah, definitely something to look into for the future. I'd love to have it. Salad now half a second back from Chad on lap 19. Franco leading Tom by 5.9 seconds and Jibbuck from a further 4.6 behind him. Predicting a a pit stop from Franco. I would have thought so. Salad looking very impatient to get by Chad's car. Almost didn't pay off for him. He gets past just before the DRS zone, and Chad making the best use as possible of the slipstream, but Salad up with his Red Bull teammate now, 6th and 7th for Red Bull, but they did start 3rd and 4th, so it's not all quite going to plan for Red Bull tonight. Although just up the road, 13 seconds further up the road, is the other Red Bull, and he is starting to catch Huberto Mancini now, and should have a few laps of much better grip here on the medium tyres. No news, I'm afraid, from our retiring drivers, Jamie Enro and Jovi. I'll see if I can't hear from them. Lap 20, and now Alex on the aggressive side, on the push, on the outside, down the start-finish straight, comfortably up into P5 then, and just one place away from where Red Bull started this one. Djibouc has pitted for soft tyres. Amazing stuff. Djibouc forcing the issue now. He's got Huberto Mancini ahead of him, so that's going to change my point calculations somewhat. Kind of frustrating, but if Franco needs to pit again, Djibouc has second guessed that one. Djibouc didn't feel like the softs would get him to the end, why the mediums would get him to the end. I say on this day in history, my only conclusion I can draw, as Djibouc dives down the inside, very unusual overtaking manoeuvre there, but fresh soft tyres make that possible, although he rubs them on the wall. The only possible explanation I can offer is that we are dealing with an unexpectedly high track temperatures, causing very high degradation, higher than all the drivers' predictions and strategy runs. Matty's gone in, he's got those softs on, and he's now 5.7 seconds up the road from Djibouc. Djibouc currently P4. We're expecting a pit stop pretty soon from Franco, because as I say, we haven't seen a problem, a car manage 16 laps on the mediums yet, even. And Tom pits from 9-lap old mediums, and if you're going to pit for softs, you might as well do it right now, because frankly there's diminishing returns the more you do it. Djibouc on the soft tyres. Will he get past will he get past Tom in the pits? Tom just on his way out. No, Tom has made it out the pits, so Djibouc stays 4th, and starting to get within range of a pit stop from Franco. But if Djibouc finishes 4th, I still think he's got the championship regardless. So just news for you while we wait for the drivers to close in. Oh, we'll wait for Huberto Mancini. News from Enro. He says an all-around poor race from him. He hit someone at the start and had to pit. Then he got front damage twice and had to pit. Didn't feel like driving a lap down, so he retired. It would have been a point in it for you, Enro, but I understand, and of course did the right thing rather than a rage quit. The self-control to get into the pits when you're feeling that way is commendable. Jamie says he crashed twice in 2 laps, and I'm just about hoping to hear from Jovi as well. And thanks very much to the drivers for that news. Really helpful for us. Some post-race debriefs before we get 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane on the way in for Franco. That's our first track penalty. Incredible stuff. So in goes Franco for soft tyres, but he will have the first track limit penalty on a street circuit here, picked up by anybody, as Gibbert goes fastest on the new soft tyres behind Alex. Franco coming out of the pits, and Tom, Matty and Gibbert will be able to see him now, but he's got 5 seconds of penalties. So this is going to drop Franco potentially down into the clutches of Matty and maybe even Gibbert. Matty's going to start to struggle on those softs again. We saw that at the start of the race. Jovi said his race was ruined at the start, and yeah, we did see him sideways rail grinding that right-hand curb on the entry into turn 1. So that obviously damaged the floor or damaged the car in some way. Of course, how he ended up there is anybody's guess at this stage. The soft tyres on the Alpine here really holding up the Mercedes driver Gibbert behind. Gibbert really wants this one. So no driver really successfully getting through this race unscathed. I think Tom is doing a good job. I think Matty's obviously doing great guns, and Roberto Mancini started at the back and is up to 6th at the moment. That could still be different. Gibbert has made a mistake doing this before, following very closely behind the driver in front through turns 16 and through 17 and 18. Hopefully he won't make the same mistake again. He goes to the inside, and unless Matty's about to pit, that could be a pretty dangerous place to put yourself comfortably by then into P3 for our championship leader. Gibbert into P3 and looking strong. He can see the battles ahead of him. He's about 8 seconds back from Franco, who has a 5-second penalty. But like I say, he only needs to get, podium points will guarantee this one for him, I'm sure. Nine runners remain of our 12 starters. Frankly, I think that's pretty good, especially when you look at the number of penalties awarded. One single pit lane entry penalty is all we've had for any kind of time penalties from the drivers. But Franco needing to stretch his gap to Tom now into the dying stages of this race. 3 racing laps left to run for you in this penultimate race of our season 29 for the F11 PSGL. I can't be certain that there have been 29 seasons of F11, but it is the 29th overall PSGL season, of course. That's what we're all calling everything anyway. F11, as you can see, fought very hard by our drivers. High quality drivers nonetheless, despite being down in the 11th division. This is the biggest league in league racing. Yeah, Yamo saying that we need 1 more second for Franco to defend the lead. But if we have a quick look at tyres again, he's on fresh softs. Everyone on fresh softs here. This is a straight shootout to see whether Tom can get this win tonight. Franco can keep it. Franco's to lose at this stage, but with that 5-second penalty, he's done his hardest to lose this race, you would think. At this point, the gap opening to 4.1 seconds now, and 6.5 additional seconds to Gibbert. Of course, someone getting the drivers might well be on multiple warnings and be very close to a 3-second penalty. And some of those tyres, particularly Jim's, are going to be in a tough state to keep the car together and within the limits. Perhaps also Matty later on. Matty's been dropped very quickly from Gibbert. Matty's struggling to hold on to that 4th place to the end of this race. Really hope you're enjoying the race tonight. If you are, please like the video, share a clip or a favourite moment on socials. All helps, and a simple like is a very nice thank you to everybody involved in the running of the league and the stream tonight. As I say, if you're enjoying the commentary, please follow me at WebORed5 on Twitter, where you'll see all my streams when I go live. In fact, this one should be up there already as I cross-post as soon as I go live on YouTube. And you can also, if you know anyone who wants to book me for next season, January onwards, do get in touch. Yano saying he would have enjoyed the race much more if he was on track. Yeah, well, unfortunately, mechanicals happen, as I say, even in virtual racing. Let's see how Franco's driving, how the tyres are handling. Probably a good time to have a look at some lap data, because these guys are going to be gunning for the fastest lap at this stage. I think 2 laps to go now. Let's have a look at this first sector from Franco. I think we're going to have a straight shootout here. Crosses the line. It's 0.3 slower than he's been before. What about Tom? Tom is 0.4 slower. Jibuk next for him. He's 0.7 slower, so looks like the initial bite out of those soft tyres has gone on the drivers. 28 to 16 to 30 is the ERS positioning in reverse grid order from 3rd to 1st. Franco seeing this one out, and now 4.9 seconds, tantalisingly close enough to winning this race outright with that 5-second penalty. Alex closing in on Matty. I mentioned those 9-lap-old softs of Matty. I think they're going to be looking very old indeed. Franco about to start his final lap, and we'll just see how close Matty and Alex get here. Alex has caught Matty very quickly. Matty in 4th, having started in 10th position, electing for mediums, spending away on the ERS to try and defend from Alex. I think Alex is going to have a good run here. It's not amazing, but away he goes then. Way more ERS. Obviously the advantage of DRS, he stays on the racing line, gets to the apex, and up to P4 goes Alex, exactly where he started the race. Tom up 5 places, Matty up 5, Huberto Mancini likely to get the drive of the day at the moment, but we must go back to our leader quickly, and let's see what Franco's up to finish off his lap. He's now got the sufficient gap, just to confirm in case any penalties have been collected. No, just 5 seconds on Franco's additional race time for that penalty on the way into the pits. And let's see if we can't finish this on a helicopter cam. I don't know that we will. It's just gone over that 5 second. Looks like Franco is going to hold on to this one for, I think, his 3rd win this season, and it's only 14 races old. Jibuk with 4 so far this season. Shouldn't use the word year because we have 2 or 3 seasons a year. Franco, all he's got to do is point the car in the right direction now, spend every bit left in his battery. Not really interested in that. Franco weaving to the line. Franco wins in Azerbaijan to take his 3rd victory. He serves his 5-second penalty, but it doesn't matter. Tom comes 2nd by 0.8 of a second. Tom with the 2nd place for Haas. Great performance from Tom. And Jibuk with a 3rd place to Franco's 1st. Jibuk wins the F11 championship and is our new champion. And congratulations to Jibuk for that one. Great performance. Alex in 4th place, exactly where he started. Matty making up places to P5, and he'll be pleased with that one. Huberto Mancini will almost certainly get the game's driver of the day for finishing 6th from the back. Salad 7th place. Chad just closing out the race now. Chad in the Aston Martin, seeing a double point finish for Aston Martin, which they'll probably be happy about for the reasons that they've had those issues. Unfortunately, not a great race for Aston Martin, but bringing the cars home in the points. Credit where credit's due. Dogged determination from both drivers, and they did it. And Jibuk is delighted to win the championship. And I'll see if I can't get a word with him. That was your Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Tom, in fact, gets driver of the day. Somewhat surprising. given the places gained, but he got himself up onto the podium, so always good to see that. So AlphaTauri driver Franco, our Argentinian maestro, winning the race. Great performance overall for Franco. Obviously did what he needed to do. A couple of mistakes in there, but made up for them. Haas taking second place, and good performance there. So there's your finishing order. Franco winning for AlphaTauri from second on the grid. Tumultuous race for Franco, but he did it in the end. Tom, second place, making a good, strong bid for staying in the league for next season. Alex Gibbuk with third place, and then Alex, Matti, Huberto Mancini making a Welsh 6-7. Huberto Mancini and Salad. Then Chad, Jim finished the race for us in Aston Martin, and then we unfortunately lost Enro, Jovi, and Jamie. I'm going to try and get Gibbuk on stream, so stick around because it'd be great to speak to our newly crowned champion, if at all possible. So stick with me. I'll be with you very soon. Yeah, if you just wait for me for a minute or two, I'll try and get that one set up for you. Where are we? You'll only hear me to start with. So hopefully he'll be on his way. Some congratulations coming in from Yarmo. Looks like our champion is arriving. I'd just like to check that your broadcast audio settings are set to share. Just double check that for me, otherwise it'll just be a one-way conversation with me.
Where's that? Sound?
So it's in broadcast settings first, and then audio in there. If you go to sound, it's different.
Audio. Include voice chat audio, yeah?
Yep.
Done.
Perfect.
Should be able to be heard now.
Okay, great. Hopefully, at least Yarmo's tuned in on the stream and engaged in the live chat. But congratulations, Gibbuk. Fantastic. It looks like third place will get you enough points for the championship.
Yeah, I made sure I got the fastest lap as well. As soon as I got put the softs on, just to make sure. I think it was 7 points, but it's 5 in the end. So happy either way.
Yeah, not a straightforward race tonight, but you got the job done, and that's really for apart from maybe the wins, that's been the story of the season. Consistent finishes.
Consistency is key in like anything, just as you see in real life as well. But with my setup, I just had like low grip rear end, which I didn't understand why, especially during those final 2 corners.
Yeah.
So that last stint, I was just making sure I was lifting through them, just trying to see it through.
Yeah, it looked to me from the outside that grip was affecting everybody tonight, and tyres were just dying much quicker than they thought.
As I was checking throughout the race, the rear end tyres seemed to wear a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Than the fronts. So that's probably played a big part.
Do you think that's track temperature, ambient heat?
Most likely track temperature, yeah, because it's most likely midday when it's probably the hottest.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it was a race packed full of action. I didn't have high hopes for a 12-man race in the end there, but it delivered in the end. Any sort of season highlights, any rivalries you want to point out, or moments of the year that really stand out for you?
I just mean the moments of the year were just winning the races, especially with both Franco and Yarmo racing. Like them two are some very good races.
Yeah,
it's been a very enjoyable season.
No, absolutely. But good to come out on top as well. Will we see you in the last race for a Champions Drive?
Last race, I'll try from the back of the grid.
Nice.
See what I can do.
That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear. Good stuff. Well, congratulations, Gibbuk, and great to talk to you for the first time here on the PSGL channel. Long live the king.
Thank you very much. Don't boost my ego too much.
Good stuff. We'll see you next week, and yeah, really grateful that you stopped by to have a chat with us.
No
Well,
problem.
everybody, I'm going to have to cut and run. It's been a long old night in front of this screen, and I hope everyone has enjoyed the race. I hope you've been enjoying the season, and you'll tune in to see the decision when it comes to how things go for our final race. Who gets second place? Who gets second and third in the Constructors' Championship as well? All to play for. It's got that end of term feeling, that final race of the year. And we hope you've subscribed to the channel and you tune in 1 hour earlier next week on the PSGL channel, of course. But from me, Webbo, and from everybody involved in the league, we thank you for engaging, thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next race day.